Let's begin our program by invoking the divine blessings of the Almighty with the prayer. We have Ms. Shaheen D'Souza, Sports Captain of KGES, ready with the prayer, followed by the prayer song and the school song. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
A fraternal welcome to Mrs. Neera A. Saraf, Joint Secretary of Rajasthani Sammelan. We have amongst us Mrs. Nilima A. Pahwa, member of Rajasthani Sammelan. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Australian cricket legend Adam Gilchrist, who is also the patron of Sportspro. Sportspro International Limited is the international extension of Sportspro, an extremely successful market-leading 21 years young Australian sports education and sports coaching company. Mr. Dean Gilchrist and his family have great history, knowledge, expertise and strength in developing grassroots sports players through to elite level competitors, school education, curriculum focused sports education, sports coaching, train the trainer, teacher development programs, corporate development programs, and community focused healthy lifestyle programs and services. Due to outstanding and continued success in Australia, Singapore, Qatar, and the UAE, Sportspro International has over the past 12 months established its first Indian office in Mumbai. Can we give a round of applause for that? With a focus on providing its key programs and services directly and through collaborative partnerships to the education, sporting, corporate and wider communities. We are extremely humbled and excited to have the presence of Sportspro International in India and look forward to India's continued education and growth in sports, health and active lifestyles. Hearty welcome, sir. We also have the honor of having Mr. Francis Joseph amongst us today. Mr. Francis, also my former colleague, has always been a great guide and mentor to me. He has more than 20 years of management experience in school education in areas that include academics, human resource, technology, organizational development, operation, and strategy planning. He has extensively worked in establishing and managing schools with a large educational group in India and the Middle East, from where he started as a teacher. He is also instrumental in developing many revolutionary practices in schools. Sir is also a recipient of the Limca Book of Record edition 2013. Can we have a clap for that? For managing the fastest school admission process in 10 days in the country. Sir, through his company R Minds Education, is currently associated with the Archdiocesan Board of Education Mumbai, CFBT Education Trust, British Council and School District 42, Canada. His immense quality to motivate the staff and the students is something commendable and which I really always cherish. Sir, it's an immense pleasure to meet you again today after so many years. Hearty welcome to you. I also welcome Mrs. Neera A, Saraf and Mrs. Nilima Pahwa to be here and to grace the occasion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam. I would now request Mr. Dean Gilchrist, founder and principal of Sportspro International Private Limited, to address the gathering. All our students are waiting eagerly to hear from you, sir.
Absolutely wonderful introduction, and Ma'am Principal and beautiful ladies in great clothing out the front here, thank you very much for your humble kindness and very welcoming warmth as I entered the room today and meeting you personally. And to you beautiful faces out there, men, women and boys and girls, and teachers of course, the important people, people who make a difference. I'm very humbled and very honoured to be here with you today. I very much enjoy, as Francis knows, he's heard me a lot, talking to boys and girls about certainly my life, certainly the interests of my brother, which many people follow, like I was just hearing, and certainly about my family, because my family are very important to me. And I loved in fact, the way in the first presentation, Mum, you talked about your family, the school family, the unit which embraces not only the boys and girls that we're here to help further in life, but the people who support that process, the people who make the opportunity available for providing fantastic facilities like these. We all form one part of a process of life, and if we can make a contribution in our lives at any stage to someone else, then we've started to achieve what we are here, that I believe, on earth for. We're here to help each other. And I am very fortunately in a position to do that pretty much every day, whether that be teaching, and I enjoy teaching still. This water bottle is my little brother Adam. He was the youngest in our family of 4 children. I have 3 other brothers and sisters. One of them is Adam, of course. He's 4 years younger than myself. I have another brother, so let's see how we go here. See if I can get them to balance here. Maybe not, but I'll put the mic. I need to give me something. That's all right, I'll get it me. It's all good, we'll get there. Maybe. So, here's my helper. That's good. We need help in life. So this is my little brother Adam, and I'll explain about Adam. When he was a little boy, true story, my mother would give him some money and say, please, when he was 10, 11, 12, go into the store and buy some milk and bread for us. Quick, hurry. No. Adam, here's the money, go, please. I'm sitting in the car with my other brothers and sisters, who I'll tell you about in a moment, and he would say, no, tell Dean, he's bigger than me. So my little brother Adam was very frightful. He was very timid. He was very shy. Very, very shy. Yet now we see my little brother out talking to people like me in front of thousands of people. Not just when he played cricket in front of millions of people on the TV, or thousands, tens of thousands of people, say at Limca Stadium or somewhere else. He was very confident then. And one of the reasons why he was so confident was because he was not talking with his mouth. He was talking with his body. Using the bat, using the wicket-keeping gloves, using his body, which he had great confidence in. Why did he develop that confidence? Because he started to play sport like I did from a very young age. And we played lots of different sports. He still did very well at school too, I might add. But he chose a path a long time when he was 12 years old. He wrote down on a piece of paper like this one to his friend, Australian cricketer Adam Gilchrist, and then he did a funny looking little signature. And he said to his friend, keep this. It will be worth lots of money one day when I am playing for Australia. You should also have a dream. Maybe you should write it on a piece of paper and put it in someone's pocket. Put it in your special place in a cupboard. Give it to your auntie or your uncle, or maybe your best friend, and say, hold on to my dream, because I am going to achieve that dream. So that's what my little brother Adam did. We know he went on to be a very, very good cricketer. He's also an ambassador for a children's cancer foundation in Australia as well, called Humpty Dumpty. My daughter, Kira, my youngest, who is 9, who's dancing tomorrow, she has developed a confidence in her own self. Why? Because she also knows how well to use her body in dance. She loves sport, but she loves dance. So that has given her confidence, the movement of her body. She does well at school academically, and I encourage that. But she does very well in school because she's confident in dance. My next brother, his name is Glenn, and he was very different. I often wonder whether Adam was so scared because Glenn was so confident. He was very positive because he also moved his body very well. He did very good things in sport, particularly in football. He once had an opportunity to stay in England and be an apprentice for an EPL team. In fact, 4 EPL clubs wanted him to stay and play. He rang up my mother. He actually wanted to speak to Dad. He rang my mum from England when he was 15 and he said, "Mum, I need to speak to Dad." Did my brother do the naughty thing and stay behind? No. He respects his mother just as much as his father, and he got on the aeroplane and came back. He was very saddened by the fact that he was looking at an opportunity passing by. But my mother said that because she was not understanding of the opportunity. Certainly didn't understand who Manchester City was. But she thought about his future. She knew academic study is just as important as sport. So she understood that if he could come back and learn more about what he wanted to study, and in fact he became a PE teacher, so he could also help people understand the benefits of sport. But he came back, he kept playing football professionally in Australia, so he kept playing football, and then unfortunately something happened to him. He got his honours degree in physical education, then did his masters, and then one day when he was playing football, a man came in and hit him in the side of the leg in a tackle and totally damaged his right knee. That was about 20 years ago now. So suddenly his life changed. No more football for a long time. Good thing he had a university education, because it allowed him to go on and be an excellent teacher, but now he works in a company that makes special devices that you use to operate on knees. He works for a pharmaceutical company. These are these people that make not only the drugs we take like aspirin, but also the little tiny devices that we use to operate without making big cuts everywhere. So it's quite funny how the world turns. That's my brother Glenn. This one's me. I'll tell you a little bit more about me. You heard lots of stuff about me so far, so let's just put that one away for a minute. This one is one that I never ever get asked about. This is my older sister Jackie. My sister is doing her doctorate right now in occupational therapy. Occupational therapy is a service to the community where we learn how to rehabilitate. That means help people understand how they can go back into their home or into the workplace after they've had a serious injury or maybe surgery of some kind. It gives them confidence, again, to be someone who can contribute to their own lives or to the lives of their community. We grew up on one side of Australia. Adam now lives on the other. He had to do that for an opportunity to play cricket for Australia. It was sad, but he lived with me before he left. And he had to make a decision. And in life we have to make many decisions. And that is whether we go to something to follow our heart, or we go to something because our head says we should. I'm a big believer we follow our heart. I'm having the fortunate opportunity to stand in front of you again today because I followed my heart to come to India. Not because a businessman said, come, bring your programs. Come because there is opportunity here commercially. Not at all. I came in 1997, my first trip to India. And that is the state that I went to, Rajasthan. I say to people in Australia, I have absolutely 3 amazing things that have happened in my life. The birth of my daughter Carly, the birth of my daughter Kira, and seen the Taj Mahal twice. True. When I came over and I thought about the opportunity way back in 1997 to bring my company here and to do what I love and encourage schools, because my father was in education for 42 years. He started as a teacher, he finished as a director of education. A long road, a very hard road, and we moved around as children, so we learnt many sports. We had to learn to work together, my other two brothers and my sister, the four of us. Because when you move from place to place to place, your friends change very quickly. I'll tell you a story about Mr. Branson. Mr. Branson actually says, if anyone ever asked you in your life, can you do this? Never ever say no. Say, yes sir, I can. And then quickly run away and learn how to do it. So the opportunity stays with you. If you say, no, I can't do that, opportunity passes you by. And in India here, many people said, can you do this? Can you do that? Now for me, luckily, I have had some brilliant people working with me at home who allow me to say, yes, we can do that. We've done that already. We can do that to help you as well. We have a very strong established team. Team who've been with me some 13 years, 12 years, 6 years, 8 years. And I love that team. They are very dear to me. They are part of my family. But out of all those people up the back, I can tell you some things that they've done in their lives. I don't even know them personally. I met Mr. Branson once. Haven't met any of the other people up there. I'd like to though. It's always fun to have a bit of a chat to these people if they have a bit of time. But people like that, very, very wealthy people often miss out on the good things. And I reckon that's just to sit down and have a bit of a chat. They are too caught up in everything that they have to do. They don't take enough oxygen. That would be good, but they're still doing all right. The things they have in their lives is teamwork. Right now you're helping me as a team to listen. Sorry, I won't bore you too much longer. Hopefully I won't. But you're acting as a team. You're listening and giving me something more important. And that's respect. And I appreciate it. The next one thing, you have skills. I have skills. We all have skills. Some more than others in different areas. Some improve those other areas. Some even get different skills as they move on in life. I can't Irish dance. I tried to show you before and it's not real good. But my daughters are also picking up skills by interacting with other children that Irish dance and other families. We've travelled to America twice for their Irish dancing. I love America. I hadn't been there before, yet their dancing took me to America. I hadn't been there before because cricket's not played in America, really. It is a little bit, but not a lot. The next thing you have to have, which you are showing me right now, is patience. If you don't have patience, and cricket is a great game to develop patience. Remember this guy over here I told you about? Not number one, Adam. This guy, number two, Glenn. He loved football more than cricket because his patience was shorter. Adam's patience was long. Me, I like both. I like sometimes playing cricket, I like sometimes playing football. Depended on my mood. Winter time was too cold to be outside for a long time in Australia, so football was good, 90 minutes, out of there. Summertime, I love being in the sun. I love India for that, the heat. Unfortunately, this time it hasn't been too rainy for me. The next thing is confidence. You will develop your confidence like my brother Adam did with his body to allow him to express himself. Some people develop, as we heard before, a beautiful confidence with your voice. And that gives great pleasure to many. And that little box thing you were playing, sorry if I don't know the name of it, my mother plays the piano accordion. Oh, okay, fantastic. I'll have to take a picture of that and show my mum. My mother plays a piano accordion, the one you push back and forth. So she'd love to see this. She's a musician. Next thing, most importantly of all, or almost importantly, this is number 2 in my book. And this is hard work. We must work hard even when we're feeling down, when we're feeling flat, when we're not going and getting enough oxygen. We still have to try and work harder, don't we? Just to give us the discipline and the understanding, and with that will give you your success. But last of all, and this is the most important thing in my life, I say this before when I get asked about questions. You can ask me anything you like. I'm not ashamed or scared to tell you anything, because that is honesty. Honesty lets you understand who you are and the people you are with. and the relationship. But thank you very much, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, for your patience and your time.
Children, if at all you've got anything to...
If anyone has any questions?
Good morning, sir. Welcome to our school.
Thank you.
I, Vishaka Thanvi, from KGES, would like to know that how was your journey from the beginning as a cricketer?
How was my journey from beginning as a cricketer?
Yeah.
I had a father that used to teach me very many different little skills. He would never just throw balls at me, never make me just bowl or bat. We would sometimes use a broom handle to bat with. We would sometimes use a rolled up ball of socks. We would sometimes go in the sand and he would say, you have to run and catch this ball. And if you've ever been on a beach and you have to run, it's very hard. And all this was to try and develop a new sense of understanding about how to use our body.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody out there?
Yes.
Hi sir, it's nice to meet you.
Yes.
Have you ever represented your school in any sport? And if so, what is your best moment from those days?
Gosh, best moment. Well, I did represent my school a lot in sport. In fact, I got in a lot of trouble all the time from my teachers because I was never at school to do the academic study. That's why I had to study so much at home at night. I represented in football, in cricket, in basketball, in rugby league, in rugby union, in volleyball, and also in tennis.
Hello, and
Hello.
first of all, that was a very inspiring speech. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
that's okay, thank you.
My question is that has there ever been a moment in your life where you made a decision and things weren't going so well with that decision, and you think, did I do that right or wrong?
Absolutely.
And what did you do about it?
What did I do? I tell you a story. This is a very personal story. And I must say that it's all right, you can sit down if you like, I'll tell you the story, it won't be long, I won't bore you. I was in love with a girl once. Not once, I should say that I'm in love with a girl now. My wife and my beautiful daughter, but different. But I was in love with this girl and I was determined to marry her. I am not Catholic. I am a Christian and I follow the Christian faith, but I'm not Catholic religion. I'm called Protestant religion. And this girl was Catholic. I was determined for her to be my wife. So I courted her for 4 years. My mother said to me, Dean, are you seriously thinking of marrying Vanessa? Her name was Vanessa. I said, yes, I love her very dearly. She said to me, are you sure that her parents truly want this marriage to happen? This is when I was very young, I was 21, so a long while ago. Now in Australian terms, that's young for marriage. It used to be the norm back in the 60s, but life moves on and people tended to move longer. And I said to her, yeah, I'm pretty confident, Mum. She said, have you spoken to the parents yet? I said, oh, I will. So I bought the ring, I bought the roses, I bought this beautiful dress, and I, after a short period of time, walked up, and I was determined in my mind that that was the right decision. And I knocked on the door one day of her flat, I got down on my knee, she opened the door and I handed her the roses, and the champagne, the ring, and this beautiful box of gift with the dress in it, and I said, Vanessa, will you be my wife? The phone rang in the background. True story. She said, can you wait 1 minute? I went, what? You're kidding, are you? So she went and answered the phone. I stood up. This is going to be good. Hello, Mum. Guess what? Dean's just asked me to marry him. Oh, really? Straight away. That decision at that moment to ask her was probably the wrong decision because it put a lot of pressure on her. It made her mother very upset and she came back to the door. She was in tears and she said, Dean, I cannot give you an answer now. My mother is not happy. I did not think about going and speaking to the parents beforehand. I don't know whether that would have changed anything. I don't think it would have. I even started to change my religious faith to the Catholic faith. And it's a long process. But that's fine, I was prepared to do that. But in hindsight, a decision was made for me. It broke my heart for a long time.
What inspired you to start Sportspro?
Good question. That's a good question. When I had my accident, I had to stop being a professional cricketer. I tried to learn to throw left-handed, because I'm right-handed. Trying to throw left-handed just didn't work. So I thought to myself, I love my sport. I've played many sports, as you heard before, for school. I played them in school and out of school in association level. And I had a father and a mother who were dedicated to education. And for some reason it rubbed off on me. And I thought I will go, and I was doing international banking. Everyone goes, banking? Wow. And I was earning very good money. I had a good career path. But you know what? I looked at what happened in schools in Australia, and I saw this big opportunity where I thought, people are still not embracing the benefits of sport within education. It is very much a part of our school life, but the professional understanding was not there. So 21 years ago, no one else was doing this anywhere in Australia. I thought, that's an idea, why not? And I had so many people saying, that will not work. You're crazy. How are you going to earn a living? How are you going to support a wife? How are you going to buy a house? Hopefully it will come around and it will work. Like I said before, the hard work, the patience, the skills, the support, the honesty. I was being honest. I would say to a principal, Mum, I think what you're doing is great. If there is a way I can work here or here with you, that would be a privilege. So that was my determination, to give people an experience of what I had as a child growing up, that helped me become confident to talk to you right now, to come to another land and enjoy seeing people and working with people. Personally, right now I'd rather be out on that beautiful sports field you got out the back there, having a knock around myself, but don't mean that disrespectfully, but that's what I live for. And I thought there's one way, no place better than having the best office in the world, and that's outside. And being able to run around with kids all day, because it keeps you young. Did you know all these big people here are just little children wearing big clothes? Because when we play sport, we all act like we did when we were young, and that's the beauty of sport. So thank you. Yeah, good question.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, will you please tell me that what do you think about Indian sportsmen? How would you rate them?
Very good. Very good. And sports women too, for that matter. Now, I think Indian sportsmen and women are very gifted people. I would love, as I know you would, to see you win more gold medals at Commonwealth Games and at Olympic Games, but I'm sure it will come. And I'd love to see the ISL move into a stage where it is a very dominant competition that allows extension into the World Cup. You see, we were once a little nation that never got into the World Cup. 1974, a long time ago, was our first entry into the World Cup finals. Now we've done it 4 times in a row. It comes down to something, belief. If you believe and work hard, stay patient, get the skills, have teamwork, and be honest in your performance, you will get there as well. And I believe that we will see many. There is someone right in this room here now that will do something incredible for India, if not just for this school, if not just for the world. All those people up the back on that wall sat in a room like this once upon a time. My brother did. Everyone goes, is that you or me? Are you going to be famous or am I going to be famous? And that's when I say, get out your little bit of paper, write it down. I had a girl in Viswajot High School when I told that story about Adam. She's an athlete, she's a runner. When I was leaving, she came racing up. Excuse me, Mr. Gilchrist. I said, yes, what can I do for you? She said, please take my paper and hold it. I still have that piece of paper in my office. True story.
My question is that did you have any of the funniest moments while playing any of the sports in your life?
Yeah, I did. My father reckons I found out ways to get out when I played cricket. I've been batting, I've had a man in close here, and I've hit the ball and this ball stuck under his armpit. I've had a time when I've been batting, I went forward and played a shot, the ball came off my leg, went up in the air, I did not know where it was. Came down and hit my helmet and hit my stumps. As for a duck. That was one of those days where I sat down and had lots of chats with people, because I was not out in the middle.
What's your favorite school life moment?
My favourite school life moment? Actually, I'll probably relate it to sport again. Boring, I know, but... My favourite school life moment was probably the day I got awarded Sportsman of the Year. And I was the first one in the last school that I attended as a high school. Then my brother Glenn, and then my brother Adam. So we're all in this listing board. But that's not the reason why, because I got the award. I was going through a very hard time. I was not getting a lot of time to study because I was playing a lot of sport, and I was starting to feel very upset with that because I knew my marks were starting to fall. And sometimes, out of nowhere, something or someone recognises you and gives you some congratulations. And that little award that I won that time boosted my spirits because I was not feeling so good. So that was the best thing for me.
It was an absolute pleasure to hear from you, sir. Thank you very much. I would now call upon the sports captain of KGES, Ms. Shaheen D'Souza, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning. I, Shaheen D'Souza, sports captain of KGES, would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Dean Gilchrist, founder and principal of Sportspro International Private Limited, for his valuable presence and inspiring speech. I wish to express my profuse thanks to Mr. Francis Joseph, founder of Our Minds Education, for enlightening and guiding us. I would like to acknowledge my sincere gratitude to Shri Ashokji Saraf, President of Rajasthani Sammelan, for his unending support. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Mrs. Neera A. Saraf, Joint Secretary of Rajasthani Sammelan, for her gracious presence. I am very grateful to Mrs. Nilima A. Pahwa, member of Rajasthani Sammelan, for her valuable presence. I would like to thank our principal, Mrs. Minnie Nair, for making this event a grand success. And lastly, I thank each and everyone present over here for making today's day a memorable one.
Thank you, Shaheen. Now I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
Yeah, ready, sir, smile. Wait, one more. Yes, yeah, ready.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Mate, so I get on the drive. Get you there. Oh.
Sampai.